Hi guys, we're here at the Sydney office and I'm here with Hamish again. Today we're going to do slightly something different. We're going to go and do some street and urban landscape, correct?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we're going to look at with the HDF models is to see how we can compensate for sky and highlights, particularly in a low contrast situation like that.
Bit of an overcast day today. However, if we are shooting at different angles, we are going to get a blown out sky. If we're shooting into the shadows, if we're getting patches of sky, it's an opportunity to actually use the HDF filter as part of your creative process. Shoot with and without, and you guys can have a look at the results later. So one of the things when I'm looking for locations is we want a combination of your setting, beautiful light, then also you need a place where there's lots of actual people walking around. And hopefully there'll be one or two moments when people are just walking through this area that will outline against the backdrop. It's about creating a theatre set almost.
Hamish, one of the things that I've observed about the way you shoot is just observing what you're doing in terms of getting moments or even, let's say, structures or textures. How do you approach that?
So for me, it's about anticipation. When I was teaching at the Australian Centre for Photography, I'd always tell my students, if someone can walk up behind you and shoot the same photograph that you did with their phone, you need to bring a bit of yourself to it. And it doesn't always work. It's hard, right? But that's the glory. It is hard to get right. It takes a considered approach of every aspect of it, not just getting the exposure and shutter speed and everything else right, which is a skill in itself, but also then bring that little magic moment of you've actually got composition, you've got framing beautiful. That's what I particularly love these cameras, unobtrusive, quick, and you can pre-focus. You've got all the gear is here, and now you've just got to bring the head and the heart to composition and making images that are beautiful.
Hamish, I think what really separates the men from the boys, particularly when it comes to, composing a particular picture, is I was thoroughly impressed when I saw that photo you took on the GR3 of the billboard that we're about to go and check out right now. And you talked about going back to try and see if you can replicate that photograph. But the fact that it was framed in a way and composed in a way and shot in a way where you had the subject and the foreground and the background, what makes you kind of go and sort of see something like that and say, well, I'll take something like this and point and shoot and try and get that? Yeah,
look, ultimately, you're starting to learn composition. And ideally, you've got something in the foreground, mid and distance to keep your eye, and you're actually working your viewer through all those areas. And if you get super lucky, I mean, we can compose what we've got. We've got the background, we've got the actual physical elements, and hoping that something interesting is going to walk through, or that at that right moment, someone will just glance at the camera. You're hoping those little magic moments. So what we're looking at here is a file of the background here, that's with and without the HDF. It's good to see a side-by-side comparison. And
again, I think the photo, or what you're going for really, it's more about texture, leading lines, shapes, and things like that, And
also composition. We're aiming almost just to leave open space here. We actually want some up in that top up corners. We've got some space to balance all the dark underneath.
So I think one of the important things to keep in mind too is that, photography is a waiting game, it's a patience game. And I think it's very important where, sometimes, like I said, we try and manufacture things very instantaneously. You normally will say, well, I need to stand here or sit here and wait for the moment. And it's about capturing those moments. So like I said, it's important.
Sometimes you get lucky and you can just go, oh, there's a thing, pull the camera out and shoot it, right? But in this situation, it's a very considered approach. I've got my composition. I know exactly where I want people to be walking through to satisfy the composition. And we're on a reasonably busy street, but there's not that many people walking. I can see people walking behind us now. So I'm actually going to go there and just wait, and we'll just keep waiting.
So on the subject of having a visualization in terms of composition is concerned, we're here and Hamish is over there and he's found these steps with arrows pointing to the pathway, and he's actually sitting and waiting there to get the shot of people coming and walking past. This, once again, is, I think, quite lateral thinking when it comes to looking at something creative. And he's using the GR3 HDF version, and he's toggling between highlights on and off. But regardless, the composition is there, the concept is there, and the visualization is there, which is awesome. So there you go, guys. What a wonderful experience with the GR3 and GR3X HDF versions. We have had quite a diverse 2 days of shooting with like some street portraiture with neon signs and lights. And then today we also went and did some urban landscapes. I think that thoroughly shows the versatility of the GR cameras.
The HDF version is basically just another little excellent addition on an already remarkably great camera. As a street shooter, it is a beautiful camera system. Compact, have it with you all the time, unobtrusive, and HDF is a great little tool in your arsenal. This is a great way to get started, and you can shoot with the amazing lens and everything that you've got with the Ricoh, and with the option to shoot with a slight diffusion on the highlights. It's a great addition to the lineup.
Thanks for coming in, Hamish. Make sure you stay tuned for more content, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.